Hello, everybody. It's November 29. Last week we finished up with Thanksgiving. Now we're going into the holiday party period where every company out there is going to have a holiday party. If you're a business owner and you are scheduling your holiday party and you're trying to make it fun, but you also want to make it safe, you've come to the right place for tips on how to make that party safe. My name's Jack Malley. I'm a labor and employment lawyer and litigator. I practice in New York and Connecticut for Smith, Buss, and Jacobs. This is the second episode of our series, Making Employment Law Simple. Our first one you can see below was on reasonable accommodations for disabilities. Check that out when you have time. Our topic today, as I said, it's holiday parties, so I'm going to get right into it. When I first started practicing law 30 years ago, employers definitely did not have safety measures for holiday parties. And I think that was everywhere. They were a lot wilder too than they are today. But as time has gone on, the last, I would say 10 years or so, employers have really learned, and they do generally take pretty good safety measures for their holiday parties to protect folks from drinking too much and things like that. But even despite those new measures that employers use, still every single year there's multiple lawsuits throughout the country where an employee sues the employer based on bad things that happened at a company event, like a holiday party. So even for you folks out there who've been doing the right thing for a lot of years, I think it's good to have a refresher. So I got my top 5 tips for how to keep your holiday party safe. Number 1, send out a written notice well in advance of the party, at least a couple of weeks, that just basically makes it clear that drunkenness and other bad behavior will not be tolerated at the party, and people who do that kind of stuff could be disciplined. Number 2 is another way of giving notice through the employee training program that you should have. For example, in New York and Connecticut, employers are required to give training on sexual harassment prevention. And as part of that training, what I think you can do is, to bring attention to this issue of the holiday party, is say, hey, of course, harassment is not tolerated anywhere, and one place especially is at any company event, including our holiday party. Tip number 3, limits on alcohol consumption. I think you can follow the model that a lot of professional sports teams are doing now. Like if you go to a football game, an NFL football game, they stop selling beer in the 4th quarter. Baseball games, they stop selling in the 9th inning. Same thing for you. If you have a party, it's like a 3-hour party, stop serving drinks after 2 hours. Another thing you could do is have a limit on drinks, maybe 3 drinks max. Tip number 4, it has to do with the management of the company. The leaders in the company have to model good behavior at the party. It's just common sense, right? So if you imagine you had the CEO of the company showing up at the holiday party and doing shots and drinking heavily, what's going to happen, right? Everybody else is going to do it too. So the leaders of the company have to be careful, and they have to act appropriately and show leadership at the party, and don't drink too much or act badly in any other way. Number 5, I think you have to have alternative transportation for employees for leaving the party, for those folks who maybe drank a bit too much. You can cut a deal with a cab company so they can be available quickly. You can pay their Uber fare or make arrangements with a family member. All those things will avoid a disaster and will let someone who's drank a little bit too much get home safe. I just got one last thing to tell you about or recommend, and that's for employees who are going to attend their first holiday party this year. And usually these are younger folks, right? And what I just want to say is the holiday party, it ain't a frat party. Don't think it is when you're going there. If you act like that, so many things can go bad. I mean, the list is endless, but if you're really drunk, you're going to make a fool of yourself in front of your bosses, your co-employees, and if it's really bad, you can even end up getting disciplined or fired. So what you do, if you're someone who likes to drink a little bit, come in, say to yourself, I'm not going to have more than 2 drinks. Just mingle with people, get along fine. And if you feel that's not enough, get out of the company party. Go find someplace else with your good friends, someplace that's safe. And if you want to party hard, you can do that there. But do me a favor, don't do it at your firm party. It ain't going to work. Okay, that's all I got for now. This is Jack Malley. Thanks a lot for joining us. We look forward to seeing you for episode 3 of Making Employment Law Simple. Take care.